Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, we're going to be covering the holiday event that is going on right now, which is Hallow's End, or the Halloween event. Now this event is lasting between October 18th, so by the time you are watching this video, it has already been out for 2 days, and it is lasting until November 1st. So even if you're seeing this video a few days late, even a week late, there is still plenty of time to get on board. You have until November to make some gold. And with that being said, just a quick disclaimer that this video is through the gold making lens. So I will be highlighting the parts of the event that is actually good for gold making. So if you're somebody here who is looking to try to collect everything, you're looking for achievements, or just general knowledge about the event, this is probably not the best video for you. Of course, you can still watch, but just keep in mind we are focused on the gold. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you appreciate the content, leaving it a like would be amazing, and subscribe if you want to see more. But without further ado, here we go. And to start off, I just want to highlight something that is currently going on for this event specifically. This doesn't always happen every single year, but for 2022, I think this is a huge, big deal. And this is strictly the leveling capabilities of this event. As you guys may or may not know, during this event, we still have the Winds of Wisdom buff, which is a 50% XP boost. If you combine the Winds of Wisdom and you pick up the 10% buff for Hallow's End, and then you also turn on War Mode, you have a 70% XP buff. This is absolutely insane, and if you are somebody who is trying to level before pre-patch, or for whatever reason, this is the time to do so. Also, I'm not going to highlight it much in this video because I have a previous video talking about it, but keep in mind that due to this XP boost, whether you decide to level or not, there is a ton of non-holiday gold making that can be done. If you have a tailorer, make sure you are crafting bags, and if you have any of the armor professions, make sure you're keeping up with your crafter's marks gear to make the most out of this time. But now we will officially transition into the Halloween event specialties. And so for this event, we have 2 main types of items that we're looking for. The first one is 4 different types of pets. Now all of these pets, to make it easy, cost the same amount of tricky treats, which is the currency for this event. We'll talk about how to obtain them in just a little bit. But each of these pets cost 150 of these treats each, so you can choose what pet to buy based on their buy price. You can also diversify, whatever you'd like. But the first pet on this list is Naxi. Now, on the NA region, this averagely goes for about 35 to 50k. Of course, it depends on your server, and of course, the time of the year. Then you have the Feline Familiar, which has a regional average of 50k as well. And you will see a trend here, but the third pet you have is the Cursed Vermin, which also has a region average of about 35k. And then lastly, you have Widget the Departed, which I think is one of the coolest pets, and it also has an NA region average of about 35k. So to be honest, whatever pet you decide to go for, you can't really go wrong. All of them are very valuable, so you can look it up on your server to see which one best performs, or let's say you farm out, treats for 4 of them. Maybe diversifying and buying 1 of each would be better than buying 4 Naxis, stuff like that. Now, the way to actually gain this currency is pretty similar to any other holiday event, so it shouldn't be shocking news on how to obtain these. Up first, you just have simply running the daily dungeon. You can queue this up on Group Finder, and whenever you actually kill the boss, you will loot an item that gives you anywhere between 4 to 6 treats. Just to make it easy, we can say on average, you will gain 5. Also, as a bonus, you do have a chance of getting the special mount for this event as well if you run the daily dungeon, so that can be also an incentive as well. But you can do this on all of your characters, and you can do it once per day. Up next, you have a one-time turn-in quest, and this is called the Hallow's End Treats for Blank. Blank is replaced by an NPC name, depending if you're Horde or Alliance, but this can be found in your major city. So if you're Alliance, you will have to go to Stormwind, and if you're Horde, you will have to go to Org. But this is just a simple quest to complete. It's a one-time turn-in and will grant you 10 treats. Then the third way, and honestly the most important and easiest way to gain treats, is a basic scavenger hunt. What you will have to do is go to each inn in every single major town or flight point, and there will be a one-time quest to basically loot a candy bucket. This gives you an item that you can open, which has a chance of giving you 0 to 3 treats. Now there is an add-on that makes this super simple, which I will leave in the description down below. So all you have to do is fly to each icon, you don't have to do any searching, but this is how you actually get a ton of treats. Now the Horde has a little bit more buckets compared to the Alliance, because Horde is better, but in all seriousness, due to that, we're going to use the Alliance metric to make sure it's fair for everybody. So if you are Alliance, you have the ability to loot 131 different buckets. So if you get super unlucky and of course open 0 every single time, you're not going to gain any treats, but if you get super lucky and you get 3 treats every single time, then you will loot 393 treats. Just like that, you already have enough for 2 pets. And to just give you an average, let's say on average you're going to pick up 2 treats each. That means 131 buckets is going to grant you about 258 treats. So just right there, if we, have 258, complete your one-time quest, that's 10 more, and then after a few daily dungeons, you will be up to 300, which means you can afford 2 pets. Then lastly, if you really want to min-max, there are 7 different daily quests that you can complete each day. Now, it strictly just comes down to how much time you have, because some of these daily quests are scattered. Most of them, if you are Horde, you're going to find in Undercity, and you will also find some in Durotar and Org. And then if you are Alliance, you will find them in Stormwind, in Ironforge, and of course the zone that Ironforge is in. But if you do complete all 7 dailies, you will gain about 15 to 17 treats per day. So it is up to you if you want that extra 15 to 17 treats. But there we go, that is the 4 main sources of treats. Now, if you are here for my personal suggestion, what I would say is do the candy buckets. The amazing thing about it is the candy buckets actually give you XP, so if you have a low level character, going back to that 70% buff, you can level and actually gain a lot of levels by simply just going to each inn and collecting these candy buckets. Let's say you do that, on average, you will gain about 258 treats. Then if we talk about the daily dungeon, that is 5 more, and then of course you have that one-time quest of 10 more. So on your first day, you should be able to have 273 treats. Then if you just do a few more days of the daily dungeon, gaining 5 more treats per day, in just a few days you will have your 300 treats, which means you can afford 2 pets, and if they're both about 35k, that is 70k right there. Of course, do whatever you have time for, do whatever method is best for you. If you want to start doing the dailies, go for that. That's awesome, but that will be my suggestion. Moving on to the farmers out there, if you are somebody who likes to farm, or to even the flippers out there, there is one singular toy that is also great during this event. Now this toy is very popular, but it is called the Coin of Many Faces. And this is actually a farmed toy. If you guys are familiar with Hallow's End for the past, honestly, multiple years, you are already familiar with this farm. But there is a little island at the bottom of Shadowmoon Valley. This is the Shadowmoon Valley in Draenor, so this is not Outland, Shadowmoon Valley. And what you do is you just get a group and you kill all of the skeletons as fast as possible. Right now, because the event is so popular and active, if you guys want to join a group, you should have no issue doing so. I recommend going into the group finder and find one for yourself. Of course, if you don't see any, start one yourself and there will be plenty of people who want to join. But with that being said, the actual toy itself sells for around 3 to 5k each. Of course, this is the NA region average. So I know it's not as crazy as the pets, but you also get a lot of them. Also, a great tip is that because of the region-wide auction house with commodities, during this farm you will collect an item called a Spectral Krog, which is actually just a cosmetic drink that turns you into a pirate, and normally these would sell, on servers, just not very fast, but with the region-wide auction house, they actually sell very, very fast nowadays. So if you guys do this farm and collect those items, don't vendor them. I would suggest selling them on the auction house. And as always, if you guys do want specific farm details, I highly recommend just looking up Hallow's End Coin Farm on YouTube, and there will be plenty of videos out there. I'm not a huge farmer myself, so I'm not going to go into the details. And alright, that is basically it for this event. Now, if you guys are somebody who does not have a ton of time to play, or you just can't be bothered, or just don't enjoy farming, there is a huge market for flipping. As this event goes on and as we get closer and closer to November 1st, these items will be very populated onto the auction house, whether that's the pets or the toy. So if you guys find this item super, super cheap, pick it up, store it in a guild bank, or learn it yourself, and in a few months pull it back out and make some money. In the past, of course, keep in mind this will depend on your server, but in the past I've been able to pick up a few coins for about 1,000 gold each, and on my medium pop server, I was able to resell them for about 5k. Of course, if you're on a full pop server, these are not going to be the exact numbers you want to go for, but it can give you an idea of what exactly to go off of. And the same thing applies to pets. Keep in mind that pets can be transferred from server to server, so if you find there are a ton of cheap pets on your server, think about taking them to a more expensive server and make some gold there, or of course you can save it and resell on your same server. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and of course, good luck farming. Whether you are farming, collecting those candy buckets, or you are just going to sit around and flip, I hope it's successful for you, and let me know if you have any other suggestions. But everybody, thank you so much, and have a good day.